Here we
Energy
go.
up.
Here we go. All right. What is going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Yammie Noob. Today we're working on probably everyone's favorite of the 3 giveaway bikes we got going on right now. It's the Triumph Street Triple, and today we're gonna make it sing with a Leo Vinci full, not exactly full exhaust. We're gonna talk about that a little bit, what makes this a little bit different over a completely full system, but why it's basically a full system, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're looking at the mid pipe over here on the system. It's pretty much going straight back. All that has in it is a little bit of a baffle, so we're going to get stock exhaust sound with the baffle in and without the baffle, and we're gonna compare and contrast. Let's get into it. So before we get started today, just wanted to remind you guys that this is our giveaway motorcycle. We've got this, the XSR 700 and the KTM Duke 390. We're running a special promotion right now. If you go to YammieNoobMerch.com, normally I give you entries for every $1 you spend, but right now if you use the code TRIPLE2020, I'll give you 2x entries and 10% off. So you can pick up one of these cool hoodies, pick up the shirt that Spite's wearing, you can look just like him. You know, somehow you'll grow as soon as it comes in the mail and you'll be 6'3" or 6'4", however tall he is, and you'll be, you know, wrenching on Harleys and you know, making weird sexual innuendos as well. So get yourself a piece of merch and do that. So, Spite, talk us through the exhaust we're doing today on this bike.
Right, so you alluded to it earlier, but this is going to be a cat delete pipe, right? So we see this big old bread box right down here, and that's baked straight into our exhaust pipe. It's all one piece, kind of similar to what we had on the XSR, but today we're actually going to be able to separate the headers from the catalytic converter and the exhaust, which means we can just slap a resonator, link pipe, and muffler on it as opposed to putting new headers on it. So it's similar to a full system in that we're cutting all of the weight out of the cat, but we're going to be reusing the stock headers. A cat delete system is going to be just a little bit cheaper than a full system. It may require a tune depending on how free-flowing it is.
It also might be illegal where you live, so definitely make sure and check to see if that's okay where you live. Probably isn't, so make sure.
That's true.
Yeah.
And then finally, it's going to be significantly louder than just a slip-on pipe, which some people really like, and we're gonna, like we said earlier, we're gonna give you the sound with the baffle in and baffle out, just for point of comparison.
Yeah, so let's check on the stock exhaust sound to see what we're working with baseline. So, with all this jibber jabber out of the way, let's get started wrenching on the bike.
All right, guys, so first thing we're gonna have to do is pull this heat shield off here, which I believe is on just a big union pipe with a little resonator on it, because we need to disconnect our big cat here from the headers. So, should be pretty easy, but again, that's probably the curse that is gonna cause us to be in here for 2 hours. I do love, however, how much this stuff is just dangling underneath the bike. It makes it so much easier to work on.
Also guys, a bike lift is coming, so don't worry. We're not gonna be schlepping on the ground for much longer.
Oh, I'm so looking forward to that day. Gonna have stools and a lift and gonna be working in comfort and style. I think it's like hung on here somewhere. There we go.
Ah, it was hung, yeah. It is rubber, right? Look at that. On that other one?
It was hung, now you're the one who's
well, here we go.
Throwing out the innuendos.
There we go. Nice.
Cool. Okay, next step is to disconnect the cat.
Those two bolts in the back, yeah.
The bike. Yep. That should be kind of fun.
Oof, that rear suspension with the external can back there, fully adjustable. Wow, what a cool bike.
So it looks like to disconnect our catalytic converter here, we need to just pull that bolt right there, and then there might be one, yeah, there's one right here. Anything else looks like it's in for the lower linkage of the suspension. So I think it's just these two bolts right here. So let's get started. That looks like a 12 to me. See, there you go. That's how you do it. You use a 12 in the back and a 12 in the front. Is it that hard? Come on, come on. Don't drop it. Don't drop it. I dropped it. There it is. Oof. That feels like, I was wrong last time, but I'm gonna underestimate. That feels like
15?
15, yeah. Oof, so close.
14 pounds. Oh, you're getting better now.
I'm getting better.
Yeah.
Because people got all on our case last time for not having the link pipe.
Get lambasted. About 8 pounds? It just said 7.
Yeah, let's call it 7.5.
Yeah, it's so light it can't really read it. But
we're cutting
about 7 pounds.
7 pounds. That's solid.
Not bad.
Sweet. Let's start by putting the mid pipe on.
Let's do it.
Start here. Oh, came right off. I was gonna expect a little bit more of a fight. I'm a little disappointed.
Sometimes this can be pretty nasty, but the foot pegs are pretty easy.
Mm-hmm. Especially on this bike, since the foot pegs aren't gonna get used.
Yeah.
Unless you wanna sit bitch for this test ride.
I think I'm good.
Let's get you and me on the Busa. I think that's a
That bike will
right
take
there.
it for sure. I've seen some big boys and big girls on both passenger and saddle on that bike.
Look at that though.
Looks pretty slick, huh?
Yeah.
That metal matches really nice with the paint, I think.
Agreed.
Looks great.
Now let me clamp this guy down so that we have no leaks. So we just heard the pipe with the baffle in it. Now let's pull the baffle out. I don't think we're gonna have to Dremel it because it's not welded that much on there. I think I can just crack it with a Allen key. So let's give it a try. May actually have to bust out the Dremel. Why not? We've got it, right? I just cracked the bit by setting it down.
Oh, Jesus. That sucks.
Oh well, they're fragile and I've got 60 of them, so.
Yeah.
Speed it up now that I've got a Now I think there's a lot to be said for whether or not they intend for you to keep the baffle in by how well it's welded and how tight this screw is. So this screw is actually fairly tightly in there, which makes me think that they don't just want us pulling the baffle out.
Yeah. We have a Dremel and willpower, so we're pulling it out.
Yep, and an audience. There she goes. That's actually quite a significant little baffle right there.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's going to be
Loud.
very loud. Let's see how it sounds. So that's what it sounds like with both stock exhaust, baffle in, and baffle out. My personal pick is to keep the baffle out. I'm a bit of a squid, and I think I like how it's a little bit louder. Spite, what do you think?
If this was my bike, I'd definitely be keeping the baffle in. I think it's just a little too loud, honestly. I think my butter zone for a good pipe is when you rev it with your earplugs out and it doesn't hurt your ears.
Yeah.
Perfect, because that means when you're at full song on the highway, it sounds right, it'll be nice and loud.
Yeah.
When it's just sitting here, you shouldn't really have to have your earplugs in, I don't think.
I agree, yeah. If this were, to be honest, if this were my bike, I'd probably leave the baffle in as well. I just do personally like the way it sounds without the baffle, but yeah, you don't want to be riding around, downtown if you're just pulling away from the light and people are, doing this. You don't want to be a nuisance to society. We already get enough of a bad rap as it is.
Yep.
But let's get it out on the road and see how she sounds.
Let's do it.
Alrighty, guys. Starting it off right here in McMansion Hell in Austin. Why are we here, Spite? I think I made this turn, yeah.
Yeah, you chose this spot, and I'm kind of glad you did, because now I see exactly where I don't want to live.
Yeah.
That is a kind of sizable 3-car garage right there, though.
I was just about to say that. I was like, that is one nice perk about these McMansions is the 3-car garage over there. That would be a pretty sweet setup, but I have a 1,600 square foot office. I don't need that All right, so we're checking out the new exhaust system on the Street Triple. We definitely need to get it tuned, right?
Yes.
It's feeling a little wonky. And then we also need to get it back to the shop and just made it up a little bit better because we're having some brake clearance issues here, just kind of bumping up against it. So we got to fix that. Should be an easy fix. I think this L-shaped bracket here, just flip it around, should be good to go. But I'm really happy with how it sounds. How about you?
It's a little loud for my taste, honestly. Okay. I think that when you put the baffle in, it's kind of right in that butter zone of proper noise.
Yeah. Let's get a sound check on it. It is quite loud.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that baffle needs to get back on there. Yeah, all right, let's jump on and let's talk about it.
Sounds good. I'll be interested to hear your thoughts on how it rides.
Let's see.
Which is why I was so pleasantly surprised when we put the full system on this, and it feels fine.
I really think it's down to this bike being more advanced and having rider modes and ride-by-wire. I mean, those are two really big things that, it really is loud, huh?
Yeah.
I'm just hearing it just drone away. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna put that baffle back in, but it's fun to have squid life for right now. So yeah, I think because it's a more advanced motorcycle, without having a tune on there, it's gonna feel a little weird,
Yup.
Ooh, I X'd out this over here, that's fun. It only goes up to 44 miles per hour apparently. But yeah, I just put it in sport mode because I think you had it in regular mode, and I don't know if that changes power output. I assume it does.
Yeah, it might.
This doesn't have traction control, so I think the only thing that the modes do is just throttle response and power. So maybe when you had it in street mode, that's why you felt like it wasn't pulling as hard as it normally does.
I feel like most people would ride that in street mode, you know?
That is true. It is so nice how this thing just handles a nice sweep and turn, though. Man, this bike is balanced.
Yup. This thing, you can definitely feel the wonkiness about it.
Yeah, the MT, like all the MT bikes feel like that, where they feel like you're like, oh, they put this thing together like very loose and goose, huh?
Yup, because you can feel just a little bit of flex and squirm as it's going through a corner.
I'm actually really happy with the throttle feel and the overall response of it, to be honest. I don't feel like it's changed much.
Really?
Yeah, I don't really notice anything. Well, let me get it out on some more open bits here to get out of this neighborhood, and I'll see how it feels. Because it's funny, even though this is technically not a full system, it is louder than the full system we have on the XSR right now.
I feel like if we yanked the baffle on this, it would be quite loud as well.
Oh yeah. Still a little rocket ship.
You know, going back and forth between the Street Triple and this, I prefer the XSR. It's just a more pure riding experience. I don't have that. That's the only time you'll hear me say a good thing about this dash is I like a simple dashboard, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, the Street Triple is much more, expensive, refined, and, aggressive riding experience in every sense. It's just, you jump on it, it's so stiff, and it's so, kind of well put together. You definitely sense what it wants to do. And yeah, for me too, like, if I was just cruising around the street, I'd rather have the XSR. It's way more playful.
It's just a fun bike, man. It just wants to go out and hit a curvy road and then go to a burger joint afterwards and sit in the parking lot and look damn sexy.
This thing, I feel like it performs super well at the track. I took it out to ECR and it does super well, but again, because it doesn't have wind protection, and it limits it quite a bit. And so I think that it works really well as like a sort of canyon carving, fun weekend type of motorcycle. But man, for me personally, this is the most performance I would want in a street bike that I feel like I can still use,
Yeah.
And it's still very rapid. Like anytime I want, like I'm right up against this car again, like at any moment, even if I just go from 3/10 to 5/10.
Yeah, I mean, it'll boogie, but
yeah,
I'm hanging here with you on a bike that's, definitely built to a budget.
That is the thing that I try to stress on people as well. It's like, riding on the street, there's not really much of a fast. It's just about how much you're willing to risk. You know what I mean?
Yup.
Yeah, I'm actually really pleased with how this feels right now without the tune. It could be better, but it's not like terrible.
Yeah, I think once you put the baffle back in it and get a little bit more back pressure, I think it'll have a lot more of that original stock character to it.
Yeah, it pulls super hard. Why, Triumph? Why couldn't you give me a version of this engine that makes 150 horsepower in the same chassis? Give me a fully fared 765. Dude, this thing is so loud.
Yup.
At full song, holy shit. It's about as loud as my race bike. It's a little quieter, but about as loud as it.
I would say that's pretty, obnoxiously loud.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
Again, just another point for baffles. I'm past that point in my life where I need a super loud pipe.
This is fun. Come on, Spike, get your head over that mirror. Yeah, dude, 100% putting the baffle back in on this thing. It's way too loud. I redact what I said earlier. My ear's starting to hurt.
Yep.
This is not appropriate for a street bike. Let's be sensible here. I'm not 22 anymore. Like, I'm wearing earplugs and I'm still like, Jesus, this is too loud.
Mm-hmm.
That's how my Ducati was, the Scrambler, before I put the baffle in. I was like, I can't fucking ride this thing like this, man. It literally hurts. it gives you so much like track and race bike stuff in a street package. I think it's so awesome.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely like bleeding edge performance for the street, but
yeah,
does it make sense? You know, for me, not really.
I think if you're a bit of a psychopath, it can. But yeah, I'd rather be on the XSR. It's more fun, more low stakes. I have more fun being on that bike than this bike. But man, if you can only have one bike though, and you want to have a track bike along with the street bike you could take to work every day,
that's the bike.
This is the bike, dude.
But
imagine the guy who does like 3-er. That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God, that's so loud.
This bike's turning me into a squid, bro. I'm about to squid, bro. Oh, dude, I'm gonna squid. Oh, that drone, dude. No, this isn't it. This ain't it, Chief. 100% would put the baffle back in. This is too much. I can barely hear myself think. Like, do you hear it? Like, oh my god.
Yeah, I can hear it through the cardo.
Yeah, this is baffle 100% going back in.
I'll probably actually have to tune it down in post so we can hear you talk.
Yeah, you gotta EQ it out a little bit. So yeah, it's interesting how, you know, this system, the Cat Delete plus exhaust can without the baffle in it, I'm basically getting a full exhaust result here for a lot less money. So unless you really, really want to swap out the header pipes, this is a really cost-effective option if it's available for your bike. Is it too much for the street without the baffle? Yes, do not do that. That is very dumb.
As we have found out.
Yeah, but boy, it sounds cool though. The inner 12-year-old in me is like, ooh, loud bike, very fun.
Loud bike means fast.
Yeah.
But I think there's a difference between loud and nice, you know? Like, I think this is...
Did you just see what I did with that Kia?
Yup.
Oh my god, that's hilarious.
You know, I think this sounds nice. It's good and loud, but it's not oppressive. It's not going to make you, you know... It's not going to give you a headache.
Yeah.
When you're just cruising, you can hear it a little bit, but you also get, you know, your wind noise. And if you had music going, I can hear you clearly through the cardo, and if I had music going, I'd hear that fine too.
Yeah, that's the thing that I like about an exhaust with the baffle in, or one that's just a little more street friendly, is you can have music going on your cardo or your Sino, whatever you use, but you should probably use cardo because they are the sponsor of this channel. And you know, you don't have that horrible drone in the background, which is really quite nice. But yeah, honestly, like, you know, again, like, this bike is super fun and it's super cool and fast, but again, I really think it requires a responsible person to ride this thing. It's a very quick motorcycle.
Absolutely.
And yeah, I just feel like not really appropriate for younger folks or beginner riders. Like, definitely not.
Like, I even have those speed demons still in me, and I kind of wonder what would have happened if I started on a street triple.
Yeah.
Well,
I wonder what would have happened if you had gotten a street triple versus your VFR like you were talking about.
Yeah.
Because this does offer quite a bit more performance. It's so much lighter and it makes a good 20 horsepower or 15 horsepower more. Jesus, this is unbearable. You hearing this?
Yeah.
Yeah, baffle's going back in.
Oh, it's okay, Spite. I really like it, honestly. In the garage. No, you don't. You're just saying that to be contrarian.
I did like it in the garage, but now in hearing it, you know, on the bike, I'm like, this is too much.
I think my problem with it is that it's not bassy so much as it really has a you know, high tone scream to it.
It's hitting at like a like 60 to 70 hertz type of like sound. You know, it's like a weird frequency it's sitting at, and the gears are so close together that it doesn't matter if I shift, I'm still at the same RPM.
Yup. So you're just always going to hear that kind of shriek.
Yeah, like I just switched from 6th to 4th, and I'm still at like about 5,000. Oh, such a refined riding experience, though. My God, this is very good.
Wow, this boogies. Holy cow. This is
really hustles, right?
Yeah, this is a beginner bike?
Yeah,
Man.
that's what I tell people, like, oh man, you start on MT-07, definitely be careful. It's just got torque for days. That's a very pokey bike.
Yeah, this is just wow, man.
I'm telling you, Yamaha, they built it kind of loosey-goosey, but one thing they do not skimp or cheap out on is the engines.
No, they really don't. This engine's phenomenal.
Compared to the SV650, I feel like the MT is just so much better. It's so much more character.
Yeah, I mean, it just pulls and pulls and pulls and pulls.
Yeah, it's awesome. Alrighty guys, with that, we're gonna wrap it up for today. Remember, we're giving both of these bikes away, so this Street Triple, definitely gonna give it to you with the baffle in it, not gonna ship it out this loud, so it's nice and approachable for you. But if you use the code TRIPLE2020 on the merch page, you get 2x entries and 10% off, so definitely go and check that out, and try to get yourself a chance to win this bike or that bike. Someone's gonna get it. Why not make it you? So I bid you adieu, farewell, have a good day, see you later.